Hey sports fans, are you a crazy football fan? If the answer is yes, then Vegas Sports Nuts invites you to show up and root for your favorite team this Saturday at Murphy's Law on Flamingo, just east of Maryland Parkway. Join host Jonathan Scott for free drinks, great food, prizes, and a chance to be heard and seen by other Vegas Sports Nuts. If you love the Chargers and hate the Raiders, or love the Bears and hate the Packers, we want you at Murphy's Law. You can sign up and pre-register online at VegasSportsNuts.com and tell us why we should have you on the air. That's Vegas Sports Nuts every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Murphy's Law on Flamingo, just east of Maryland Parkway. Brought to you by Cadillac of Las Vegas on West Sahara and LVH Hotel and Casino. For more information and to register, go to VegasSportsNuts.com. Vegas Sports Nuts. They're crazy.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Vegas Sports Nuts. I'm your host, Jonathan Scott. We're coming to you live from Murphy's Law. I always want to say something else about Murphy. I don't know. But Murphy's Law on Flamingo, just east of Maryland Parkway. Come on, stop by, say hello to myself and our guest today, Marty Tunnell. Marty, say hello to everybody. And Rob, I knew I was going to have trouble with Principio. Close enough?
Oh, Ron, actually.
Okay. Okay, but you guys have lots to talk about. We've got a full NFL thing to talk about. Anyone want to talk about? Tommy, you want to talk about baseball for a second?
Yeah, sure.
All right, get your
butt in here.
Tell us what's going on here. Here's Tommy Vincent to talk his take on Tommy's talk on baseball.
Thank God all of the Cinderella teams are gone. The A's, the O's, the Nationals. It's down to 4 teams who've all been there, so we don't have to hear the whining and worst of first stories and all that stuff. Yankees, Tigers, Cardinals, Giants, all been there. It's going to be a great 2 series going on. Starts today, continues tomorrow. Go Yankees.
Okay, that was Tommy Vincent, our cameraman, coming in with his baseball opinions, and it's going to be a great series no matter who wins and who loses. So,
yeah.
So let's start out with a little bit about you guys. Marty, let's start with you. Tell our listeners a little bit about who you are and why you're here.
Well, I'm here because I think it's I've been watching your show for quite a while, Jonathan, and I really enjoy it. But a lot of these guys come in with statistics. They talk about statistics and how many shoelaces the guy wears when he ties, and what kind of underwear he's
You're talking about Mario, aren't you?
Lingobardi. What is his name? Lingobardi?
For those regular listeners and viewers, our regular guest Mario Longobardi has been called to jury duty in Italy. He's meeting with the commissioner of the NFL. Right? He couldn't be here this week, so we're filling in and we're giving him a little bit of stuff. So yeah, Mario's big on statistics.
Oh, he's big on statistics. I mean, he knows a lot of things people really should not know about this game. It's just crazy. How would you know in 1976? That the guy never changed his underwear for 12 games because they had a winning streak. It's impossible.
Well,
they wanted a winning streak.
Right,
a lot of streaks.
Before we start talking about changing underwear streaks, let's tell those viewers and listeners underwear streaks in the same sentence. Who you are, where they can find you, what you're all about. Who are you?
My name's Marty Tunnell. I'm one of the owners of Gigi's Cupcakes here in town.
Yeah.
Which Jonathan's a big fan of.
Yeah, you don't have to eat them. You just slap them on your ass.
Yeah. Taste and go. That's what they are.
Cut out a little bit. And they're fat-free, I think.
They are fat-free. We just charge for everything else.
Yeah. the fat part is free. Well, let's move over to Rob. Rob, let's tell our listeners a little bit about you.
Hey, what's happening, guys? I'm a friend of Mario Longobardi's. He makes me mental just as you guys every Saturday. And, very entertaining fella. We're all blessed to have him in our lives. Me and him have had a few disputes, just various topics in the NFL, so I was invited to the show. He's one of my my brokers for a local, supplier for a local distributor.
You're in the wine business, right?
Yeah, so I've been in the wine game for
Red with
10
meat
years.
and white with fish?
Pretty much so.
Just checking. I'm just checking if anything's changed.
Yeah, just keep with that little book in the back pocket.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start up with a little football talk first, and then we've got another guest that just came in the studio, Rob Misch, author of the Natural.
Too much baseball talk already.
Yeah, we're gonna get back to a little more baseball. You guys are baseball fans.
I'll hijack this.
We're all big sports nuts here. So, Marty, let's start with you, and let's talk about. Anybody want to talk about Steelers Titans first on Thursday night game?
Well, the Steelers came in second, which I had to do 1 or 2, and I don't know much about it. I didn't see the entire game myself. Did you see it, Rob?
I watched it. Yeah, I was so impressed that Hasselbeck was looking all around, just spreading the ball. I just never thought he had it in him anymore. Honestly, you figure Locker's the young gun. It's going to be that methodical, offense when Aspect comes in, and it's just going to be inefficient. They lacked rhythm as a whole, but Kenny Britt's finally finding his game, and that's the key. It's not Chris Johnson's offense. It's truly Kenny Britt. When I saw what they were doing last year, I was mesmerized by his talent. But
mesmerized.
Yes, for sure.
So you went into a trance,
so to speak. I just envy when I watch a guy like that.
It's radio.
He's not even trying, just effortless with some of these guys.
Speaking of trances, the Screamon Experiment. Want to hear a nice transition right here? The Amazing Jonathan presents the Screamon Experiment. We went last week. Hush Little Baby, don't say it. If you like haunted houses, you've got to check this out. It's at the Las Vegas Club, right across from the plaza, where you can get Gigi's Donuts and cupcakes.
Or cupcakes, no.
You don't have donuts.
No, we don't.
Popcorn.
That's cupcakes. We fill it up. No
They
popcorn.
call it Gigi's popcorn?
Yeah, we don't need Gigi's popcorn.
All right. So that's now through Halloween. It's the Screamon Experiment at the Las Vegas Club. And if you like getting scared, the Amazing Jonathan does a great job every year. So check that out at the Las Vegas Club. And if you come down here, we've got some discount tickets for that. And again, we're coming to you from Murphy's Law on Flamingo, just east of Maryland Parkway. Brought to you by Cadillac in Las Vegas. The new ATS cars are in, so test drive one of those. Okay, let's start talking Bengals and Browns. Let's get to the first game. Marty, you've got some opinions having to do with your pick. Bengals are -2.5, and it's the Ohio rivalry here. What do you have to say about Ohio period?
I like to get Ohio period is a swing state, generally speaking. And you have to win it to win the election. But it's got a lot to do with it. The Bengals and the Browns. Let's really talk about not much about football, but what about the towns themselves. Let's say that
Cincinnati
Bengals.
Have you been to Cincinnati?
Yes, I have. And they have to share an airport with somewhere in
Anybody
Kentucky.
been to Ohio, I feel pity for.
They have to. They have to share an airport. They don't have their own airport.
I
They
did
have to
go
share
from Kentucky, and I had to go to.
You got to go to Cincinnati
Cincinnati,
Airport, right? And around the border there, they have to share an airport. Which, for a city that size, you got to share not only another city, but another state. That's not good. They have chili. They have 5-alarm chili. If you ever had, they're famous for that. These people are famous for 5-alarm chili. So they got a lot of stuff going for them. But
Cleveland, what's Cleveland famous?
and they-
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Cleveland has basically nothing.
Is
Besides
the Oyster Cult in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
They used
I
to
believe
have
they
the
are.
Browns, now they got this other team, I guess they call the Browns too.
Yeah, the Browners, I guess.
And the question is, what has Brown done for you?
So Cincinnati is favored by 2.5, but you got to think it's got to be Cleveland Browns. They got nothing going for them. Take Cleveland Browns and the money line because they got nothing going for them, but their name's Browns. I mean, Bengals at least is a tiger. What's a Brown? I mean, it's something we were talking about streaks earlier, but it's got nothing to do with that.
How did they get the name the Browns?
I don't know.
Anybody.
Anybody.
Give us a call, 702-731-1230, and let us know how the Browns got the name the Browns.
Paul Brown.
How?
Paul Brown.
Paul Brown?
We knew that. I thought you were looking for the yes.
Oh, you already knew that?
Yes.
Ron, jump in.
Well, I thought you wanted to
This
answer.
is I was calling you Rob all morning. I'm going to start calling you Ron.
I'm playing your game. I'm the newbie.
So I'm saying Cleveland Browns in the money line. They got to win. They can't not win.
What?
Cleveland Browns in the money line.
You can't not win. It's kind of hard to say because this is a field goal game, regardless. I love the explosion and the symmetry going on with the Bengals and AJ Green.
I'm sorry, did you say explosion and symmetry?
All that good stuff.
Ooh.
We may have new words for the week.
Ooh.
I saw an explosion in the cemetery once, but never
They-
Father was a
just
mortician.
Between
Oh look, we have Marty Martini's coming. Hey, here we go.
Amen.
By the way, this is a Marty Martini moment. These folks are going to bring us some incredible martinis. That's some driving in that goes in. This is a beautiful Megan.
I'm not handing you the microphone.
Why do you,
No, just put it in your
do
face.
that? What would I do with it? Look,
He's
we're having a
not
Marty
bad
Martini
looking,
moment.
this guy.
This is a special martini people everybody needs because the more you drink, the better this show gets. So here we go. We got
You almost didn't come up for air. You can also see that if you're listening on the radio, you can go to VegasSportsNuts.com and later on we'll have a rebroadcast of this craziness. But right now, Megan is pouring some Marty Martinis for us because it's after 12 noon and we're drinking.
And then Marty Martini includes champagne, vodka, a little splash of cranberry. You said cranberry earlier. A little splash of pineapple juice, a little splash of orange juice, and then topped with Graham on the edge. You're about to see the eloquent move of Megan, Princess Megan herself. Here we go. There it's more than top. That's top and bottom. Here we go. This looks good.
Are you going to light that on fire?
She already does. Every time she
Pouring
does
drinks
it.
on the radio. I don't know how effective that is, but they still look like
This girl's an
sissy
innocent
drinks to
flower.
me.
You
I
hear the drink.
don't know how it's going to go with my Jack Daniels.
Look at her. Come on.
We can make it happen.
You're like a nun.
Split splash, I was taking the back. All right, so Marty's going with the Browns. What has Brown done for you? Ron is going with
I'm comfortable with the Browns as well, but I wouldn't put it past the Bengals to squeak this out. You know, the Browns as well are finding their little niche with Brandon Weeden finally catching on. But it's really about Trent Richardson. He's just you never know what he's going to do.
Well, it's the symmetry of the explosion, and he's
well,
popping up.
He
He can pop up at any time.
AJ Green and our friend Hawkins on the other side, because everybody was so worried about Simpson leaving last year, and just picked right up as if they're the Giants. You know, you put them in his mark. It doesn't matter who the guys on the opposite side of AJ Green. They're all doing right.
I know Marty doesn't want to talk about over and unders, but what do you think about 43.5? It's kind of a tough number, isn't it, for the over and under? Right?
I don't think there's much defense in either game on either side, so I like the over on that if you wanted to play that. I like the over way more than I like playing the 2.5 either way.
I like the over because it starts with O and so does Ohio.
Right.
Both are from Ohio.
Your logic is impressive.
It's the logic about it. It's got nothing to do with the players. They change them all the time. The names stay the same.
What's the little town in Virginia that you're from, the Little Howler or Lake?
It's called Zunai.
Zunai?
Yes.
Isn't that like an African tribe?
No, it's actually an Indian tribe.
Oh.
India, that feathers, not dots. It's an
Yes.
Indian tribe.
Okay, I don't have any Indian jokes right now.
You know?
No, I'm sorry, I don't. So let's talk about Colts and Jets in the first quarter of our show here. Again, we're coming to you from Murphy's Law on Flamingo, just east of Maryland Parkway, and brought to you by the LVH Hotel and Casino, home of the best football place to watch football, Football Central, and 3000 Paradise Road, the LVH Hotel. We do it in the showroom, smoke-free environment, 50-foot high-definition monitors, concert sound, so stop by, and it's FREE free, just like the drinks here at Murphy's Law.
Woo!
You import these things, we may as well taste them.
We gotta taste them.
Marty Martini, what's the Marty Martini again?
Marty Martini's got champagne, a little splash of orange, a little splash of pineapple. It's got vodka, and then top with Brownier.
I feel like I'm in Sex in the City
I
here.
changed
Yeah.
it there, but I don't want to tell.
Sounds like a
Too much
This is a foofy kind of drink.
Oh, it's
Stick
really
You're
good.
gonna spit his gum out altogether.
Yeah.
Stick your
I got a
pinkies
cigar
out.
ready to go.
Pinkies out,
I
gentlemen.
like most of our girlfriends. There's a cherry on the bottom. Here we are.
Oh!
Sports nuts.
Woo!
A cocktail. Okay, here we go.
Chug-a-lug.
Drinking on the
pretty
radio.
tasty, huh?
Very
Oh,
nice.
this is
Very
up.
nice.
Oh,
Indianapolis Colts versus the New York Jets. Marty Martini.
Okay, I'll say, Ron, you take it.
This game here, I love the Colts. I love them through and through. Everything Luck's doing, it's very well orchestrated as well, and I think he's doing it with nobodies. May someday become household names, but outside of Reggie Wayne, no one can really name anybody on that entire offense. So
What do you think of this
without
Luck?
Brown down, I think it doesn't matter. The Jets are been flawed for quite a while, and as long as I know anything about pro sports, when you got two quarterbacks, you have no quarterback, and Tim Tebow's never impressed anyone except.
So you don't have Tebow fever?
Unless
Just
you're
a
a
regular
devout
people.
religious fanatic, then you have no purpose rooting on Tim Tebow.
Let's insult everybody, as many people as we can.
Well, I
Put
heard
it on
Mario
this.
told me last week you guys failed on religion, so I want to cover it.
Okay,
Let's move on to sex and politics.
Now you're talking.
I
Woo!
just gotta take care of my.
Ronnie,
Marty, what city are they from?
Ron, city, sex and politics, every city. Ron, even though I can't say your last name, I agree with you.
Prince City, it's just call me the
Yeah, but how long did it take you to learn
That's
that? I mean, I've known you 10 minutes. You probably were 5 before you could say that? That's like 5 years. It's a long time. So anyway, Indianapolis Colts, I agree with you. I take the money line because New York Jets are scheduled. They don't even play in New York. I don't know why they call them that. They should call them New Jersey Jets. Do they have an office there? Or some of the people players live there? The players probably live in Jersey because it's cheaper than New York. It's got to be. Think about Manhattan. Well, Island only makes about 400.
Slow down, you're talking way too fast for us Yankees.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm a sponge. I'm learning so much.
I mean, if Lyon only makes about 400,000, you can really afford to live in Manhattan. Then he'd be a real New York Jet, not a New Jersey Jet. But guaranteed he's somewhere in Hoboken. But anyway, I agree with you. I think the Colts are going to take the money line on the Colts. They got to win. They got to get a quarterback, and I believe they're just mad enough to win.
I like it. 20 to 13. Colts.
You're going with the Colts also?
Under, yeah.
Anything else you guys want to say about either of the cities?
Ah!
What do you think about the symmetry of the explosions? I'm not going to
Gotta
stop,
get-
man.
Well,
In New Jersey, there's a lot of exploding cemeteries. There's got to be.
We got to watch the
I've got plenty
microphone
more
right here because we're sharing this
nonsensical
microphone.
statements that you'll do.
All right, well, let's move on to Kansas City. They got some crazy-looking women there, and I'm going to get me one. The Chiefs against the Buccaneers, another 10 o'clock game. Rob, let's start with you.
I like the Buccaneers as a whole. I don't know if you guys have watched Brady Quinn ever. I'm surprised he's still in the NFL. And every year there's another push for him, another resurgence. If Brady Quinn might someday prove to be worthwhile. God, I sure liked the story coming out of college. I sure was rooting for him. Seemed like a good All-American, but he's just not an NFL quarterback, unfortunately. So I don't see as much as Jamal Charles is at his peak right now, playing the best football he's ever played. I just can't see them doing much offensively. So by default, I'm taking the Buccaneers. They're healthy. So,
And you know what they wear under the bucket hat?
I do. They're Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers.
I'm sorry to take this, but I got to go with the Kansas City Chiefs. There's a lot of reasons. One, because the other day I was watching something on television where it said that they were worried about what they're calling all these places like the Chiefs and the Redskins and all these sports teams that were named after American Indians. And
How come there's no Zunies?
And I don't know. It should be. We actually had a softball team that I was a member of when I was a kid. Well, actually, hardball. But anyway, doesn't matter.
Is that called the Zunies?
The Zuni Indians.
The
yes.
Looney Zunies?
The Zuni Indians that we're called.
Okay.
So they were all worried about, what if they're going to have, if they would change the name of the Redskins and they change the name of the Chiefs, it would make the kids that are on Indian reservations feel better. And I think, well, just because they learn slower now, they think, if we change the name of these football teams, they're going to make them feel better? I disagree. So, with that said, I take the money line and the Chiefs because the Buccaneers are only favored by 4, and I think the Chiefs deserve it because I want the kids to learn faster and learn that the teams named after Indians win better.
It's all about education here on Vegas Sports Nuts today. We've got explosions, we've got symmetry, and we've got a commercial break. Our first commercial break for this first quarter. Here, coming to you from Murphy's Law on Flamingo, just east of Maryland Parkway. Come on by and say hi. And we're back. From Murphy's Law, Flamingo, just east of Maryland Parkway. I'm your host, Jonathan Scott, Killis Marty Tunnel, and Rob P. Principio, the Prince of
Yeah.
Okay, we've destroyed Indianapolis, New York, Kansas City, Tampa Bay. We've discovered the Zuni Indians. We've talked about explosions and symmetry. Let's move on to Raiders and Falcons. Raiders +9, Falcons -9. Over and under 48.5 points playing in Atlanta. Mr. Tunnel.
I would definitely take the Oakland Raiders because the Atlanta Falcons, although they're living in Atlanta, it's not a great place to live if you've ever been there. But the
Whoa!
What don't you like about Atlanta?
have you ever been there?
I have. Buckhead.
They have the worst Ritz-Carlton in the entire chain. I've stayed at a lot of them. And that is, if you stay at a bad Ritz-Carlton, that's hard to do. And if you go to Atlanta, you can do that. And if you go up to Buckhead, they got a great Ritz-Carlton. Like
that's what I stayed at.
Yeah, you can stay in the one in Atlanta. You can stay in the one downtown Atlanta. You're downtown Atlanta. So, I would think, with that said, 9 points. I mean,
Please slow down.
They might be good, Atlanta, but they're not 9 points better than the Oakland Raiders because the Oakland Raiders are still mad because they haven't won much. So I would definitely take the points, not the money line, but the points in the Oakland Raiders. I think Atlanta probably will squeak by and beat it, but only by 3, only because they are from Atlanta. They're not very happy.
Well, Rob, what do you have to say about that? Rob?
Who's jumping on the Raiders? I mean, it's scary when the public's all over the Falcons, of course, but you're talking 9 points. People get nervous when you get up there. Everything about this screams blowout, which always makes me hesitant about a game. So I'd have a hard time saying it because it seems so obvious that the Falcons have just crushed the Raiders, which is not going to be any offense Oakland. And Darren McFadden's so inconsistent. Never liked him coming out as a rookie.
What did he do to you?
Just, I just feel like I can tackle him. He runs like a high
You
school.
look like De Niro for a second there. The way you-
Camera.
Tommy, if you're through texting, get a close-up on
It was an accident, I promise.
Tommy's putting his bets in right now.
Yes. Actually, I'm calling the lawyers with all this stuff that's going
You
on.
got it. I know. We didn't talk about a disclaimer. Okay, Raiders, Falcons.
Falcons on it. There's no other way about it. There's no way I could positively put my money on Oakland. No.
So 48.5 points. You think they're going to make 48.5 points?
I can see the Falcons scoring 48 on their own. I mean, honestly,
Well, they're not on their own. They've got the Raiders to play. Cowboys and Ravens. Mr. Tunnel.
Cowboys and Ravens. What can I say about the Cow people? A lot of things. Being a Redskin fan, I can't bet on the Cowboys.
You can't.
I cannot. I can't, cannot, could not, will not.
Should not.
And in Baltimore, have you ever had the clams in the harbor in Baltimore? It's absolutely magnificent. Have you ever been down there?
Has my friend Clem's Casino been in today?
Yeah, it's chilly today in hot tamale, but he might have been. But I would have to go. The Ravens. Ray Lewis is mad enough to beat the Cowboys at home. 3.5 points. I would go with the Ravens all day long.
I know you don't read the paper, but let me read to you what Matt Yeomans has to say in this morning's RJ. Cowboys +3.5 over the Ravens. Tony Romo's had 2 weeks to think about his 5-interception embarrassment against my Chicago Bears.
Woo, the Bears.
Bear down. Dallas trend is to be terrible as a favorite. The Cowboys' only strong showing came as underdogs in a season-opening victory over the New York Giants. So he's going to take a shot with Romo against Joe Flacco, who produced a pathetic 9 points last week in Kansas City. Also, Dallas went 6-1 after a bye the past 7 seasons. Brian, what do you
Two
think?
very frustrating quarterbacks as a whole. Flacco, as much as I see the upside, he can make any throw. I mean, he's a likable guy, and he screams, I want to be, I want to like the guy. But on the other hand, Romo,
So it's
it's
turning
been
into Sex of the City. I'm telling you right Go ahead. Go ahead. No, I like what you're saying.
There's something to that, though. I mean, when I watch Flacco play and his team, everybody rallies around the guy. Where at Romo, it's like 1 week, him and Cutler, they both frustrate me as a Bears fan. Since we're talking about the Bears, we're not going to get a chance to just give.
Harbaugh
Is a bum.
is a bum. I just got to throw that in the region.
Why do you have such hatred for Harbaugh? What did I miss?
Yeah, well, he was a quarterback for the Bears.
But you didn't love him?
When
Was
you
it
were a
when he was
kid.
challenging Ditka? I loved him.
No, I worked with Ditka. I love the coach.
Well, Ditka.
Right, Marty?
Yeah, we both know Dick.
We've got coach stories.
Oh yeah, we can't tell him, but we do.
When Mike Ditka's in the room, you know Mike Ditka's in the room.
I've had a luxury of meeting him when I went to the Super Bowl in the Colts, and I was a miserable man, unfortunately. That whole day, the rain, and I was glowing. I see Hester come back, and tears, jive. I mean, the tears are just drooling down my face. It was like the most euphoric feeling of my life. And
You're
from that
very
point on,
emotional, aren't you?
from that point on, it was over. I just sat there, and I was like, I spent $10 grand to have 2 seats, $4,000 a seat, and it was the most
That'd be
very
8,000.
emotional moment.
Wouldn't that
See,
be 8,000?
Eight.
No, plus the rest of
Airfare, hotel,
Yeah, of course.
car,
There's so many
meals,
ties. By the time we're
bookers.
done.
Whoa!
What? Wait, what?
whoa.
What?
Vegas sports nuts, they make me crazy! I know.
So anyway, off on Dick, the man is a legend, of course, but
So going back to this.
I don't hate Harbaugh. That's all I'm
Let
saying.
me throw
Ravens?
He's so low.
You're taking the
Both
Ravens
of those
against
guys.
the Romos? Cowgirls?
No, actually, as much as I say that, the Cowboys, they haven't had that week of preparation.
I got to say, the Ravens. You talk about statistics. You got a guy like Flacco averages about 25 to 30 points a game. Last week he had 9 points. Think how much more he's got to do to catch up. So he's going to do a lot better this week. You know he's going to get 35 or 40 points. This week keep his average up. So you got to go with the Ravens. I would think.
What's Romo's wife's name? Giselle? What? How can you say it?
That's
Bunchen.
What?
Bunchen.
different.
Munson?
Bunchen.
Munchin? What?
Bunchen. No, Bunchen. With a B. With a B.
Bunch of fun.
Bunchen. Bunchen.
Bunch
Bunchen.
of fucking.
Yeah.
He's got a country singer, bro. I don't know.
Country singer broad?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh.
Once again brought to you by WEMA, Women in Music and the Arts.
Oh, I'm calling the lawyers.
Lions and Eagles. Lions and Eagles. Eagles minus 3.5 over and under 47.5. Marty, you been to Detroit?
I've been to Detroit. I saw my first baseball game in Detroit, 1969. It was St. Louis Cardinals and Detroit Tigers in 1969. First time. They didn't play in the same league, but they did that week.
What were you wearing?
Small hat. I was 9 years old, so.
You got a
small
big head.
I mean, not bad.
Any hat would look small on you.
Yeah.
I'd love to see baby pictures of you.
And they have phantoms. So I'm going with Detroit only because they got nothing else going for them. They got the worst housing market besides us in the world. They got mostly the slums are terrible. Dearborn, they do have Dearborn. And Dearborn does have a nice Ritz-Carlton, just so you know. You got
Ritz-Carlton, our next sponsor here.
That is important to me, even though they're owned by Marriott. But I can't go for the Philadelphia
You
Eagles.
can't.
I cannot. So, but only because I'm a Washington Redskins fan. I told you I got to do that. So, since I'm such a Redskins fan, I can't go for the Eagles. And it's only 3.5 spread. So, Detroit Lions, go for the money line all the way.
I read in the paper today that Michael Vick got a dog. It was really in the paper today that they had pictures.
There's a big controversy over if he owns a dog or not.
Would you rather he had a kitty?
I bet he does.
I'd be out the neighborhood watch. I'm all.
Rob, what do you like in that game? Lions, Eagles.
I despise everything about the Eagles, by the way, and I'm from Pennsylvania.
Woo!
So, it's very hard for me to pick them, but Detroit's just not cutting it. Stafford's always been a great fantasy quarterback. He always puts up the explosive points. Unfortunately, he's just not a real quarterback in my eyes. And as long as Vic, once again, he's an inconsistent quarterback. He has ups and downs. but I do like the Eagles, even if they're given 5.5.
You got 5.5? I got 3.5.
I got 3.5.
Okay.
And I got glasses. Here you go.
Good for you.
Well, we're throwing up the LVH book.
Oh,
So.
good. I'm glad you guys have
Oh, you got another thing. Oh, we got a bit over there. That's different.
Oh, Red Rock's got 5.5.
Oh
Well,
my God.
we're gonna have to start gambling over there. It's a station casino. Rams and Dolphins. Any feeling about the cities, the people that live there, the food?
Yeah, the Rams used to be in Los Angeles, as you probably know. And the lady, and we know the lady that her stepmother actually owns. I do. Her name's Vicky. Her lady stepmother owns the Rams. Well, when they were in Los Angeles, when the father was alive,
What was his name?
Mr. Ram. So it's Mr. Fontieri, actually.
Sure wasn't Mr. Brown?
Mr. Fontieri. And then he had a wife named stepmother named Mrs. Fontieri. And as soon as he died, the stepmother got the team and moved them to St. Louis. And since that happened, the younger daughter, actual daughter, not stepdaughter.
I hope you're following this at home.
Has had nothing to do with the Rams because they moved to St. Louis.
It's
He wasn't
deep,
happy
it's
about
deep.
it. So with
This is like
that,
Marty on football. Third base.
Third base,
and
exactly.
Miami's favored by
32.
4, so I'm going with Miami because they're much nicer than the people that own the Rams.
You're taking the fish?
Absolutely taking the Dolphins.
Rob, can you top that? I'm very confused. Rod, I'm going to have to get over that. By the way. Can I just call you
Prince Ron. That's the best way to do it.
RP?
Prince Ron.
RP!
So I really wish we would just skip this game because I don't think anybody's watching.
Okay.
I mean, is it
Skip it.
really relevant?
Well, to some.
It's irrelevant.
to some might find it relevant. Again, to Matt Yeomans at the RJ.
I'll take the Rams not only for the sake of Steven Jackson's finally healthy, and we'll actually get to see the legend that is Steven Jackson. He was a local boy who I always will root for, and the fact that anybody attached to the Kardashians always makes me miserable. So, like a Reggie Bush roster.
Ron, they're all local boys to somewhere.
Yeah. Well, here's what Matt Yeomans again had to say. Miami also tends to fall. Miami also tends to fail as a favorite. He's far from sold on quarterback Sam Bradford in the St. Louis offense, but he's way into Jeff Fisher, who's 4-1 as Rams coach. And what about Jeff Fisher? He was with your Titans.
He was, and I know Jeff Fisher. He's a very nice man. He's a very good coach. And
What's he like to eat?
He doesn't eat fish.
GG's Cupcakes, of course.
GG's Cupcakes, because he's from that.
He's on the wall. He's autographed it.
Well, okay. Patriots Seahawks. 1 o'clock game. We're on to the 1 o'clock game. Patriots, I've got them at -3.5. And again, New England has the quarterback and coaching edges every week. This week, Seattle has the home field and league's #1 defense. What do you think, Tom Brady? Who's he with now? What supermodel is he dating?
You know, you always got to go with Tom Brady almost in every game, although he doesn't win every game. For the last 10 years, he's done a pretty good job of it.
I heard he's become a Muslim.
Very possible. he does live in the East. I don't know if he faces that way. So, you know, the New England Patriots against the Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks don't even like to fish. Have you ever been to Pike's Market? They throw fish all over the place. How could you
Please
not?
slow down. Pipes Market?
Pike's.
Yeah.
Pike's Market.
Pike's
Everybody-
Market.
It's you know, they throw fish everywhere. They wrap them up. They sell them. So if they don't even like their fish and they're from Seattle, you got to go with the Patriots.
I hate to do it because you know it's no controversy here, but I'm also agreeing with the Patriots. They're finally, after a little bit of ups and downs, Belichick's going to put them all back together. As long as Stephen really doesn't want to fumble the ball inside the red zone again, you know, like he has in the past. But
Patriots ranked
I love
first.
the balance of that offense. I just really love it. That you know, in years past it was a Randy Moss show or a Wes Welker show, the tight end show. Now it's a running back game, and I really love to watch that kind of football. Old school. That is an enjoyable game coming off the last game we just talked about. It'll be Marshawn Lynch versus Steven Ridley more than it'll be you know, anybody wants to talk about Wilson. He's got a few years before he becomes relevant in the NFL.
All right, well, if any of your listeners have opinions, you can go to our website at vegasportsnuts.com, make some comments. Patriots ranked first in total offense, third in rushing. They're 3-0 on the road. I got to go with Patriots, too. So, again, we're coming to you from Murphy's Law on Flamingo, just east of Maryland Parkway. So come on by, have a couple cocktails, tell us what your team is and what you're thinking about. Brought to you by the LVH Hotel and Casino. We're going to be right back after this commercial message. Stay where you are.
Woo!
Jonathan Scott coming back at Murphy's Law Vegas Sports Nuts.
Yeah!
You're listening to Vegas Sports Nuts, again brought to you by Cadillac Motors Vegas. And there's a couple things going on. Saturday, October 20th, we want to mention the Danny Gans Memorial Champions Run for Life benefit for Nevada childhood cancer, hosted by our friend Donnie Osmond. Again, it's Saturday, October 20th. the 5K run at 8 o'clock in the morning. They've got a 1 mile fun run at 7:30 in the morning. So check that out, and you can find it at Nevada Childhood Cancer Foundation.org. Back to you again with Mr. Tunnell, Marty Tunnell. I think the next game we're talking about is the Buffalo Bills against the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
And what do you have to say?
Well, I want to let Prince Ron start with this one to tell me what he thinks, because I like to hear.
Prince Ron.
This game I really like the under. Just neither team showing anything offensively. You want to believe the Bills have a defense, you know, after all the big signings. And then I think about the Cardinals. There's no running game. They haven't had a running game even when they had star names. You know, everybody knows Beanie Wells out for 12, at least till week 12, and then you got Ryan Williams also out. So you got William Powell coming at you.
He was a fabulous actor.
Very, very. It's a big threat to the Bills, I'm sure.
I liked him in the Thin Man series. William Powell.
I saw that. And what game are we talking about now? The Bills and the Cardinals?
Buffalo Bills against the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals are -4.5.
I got one statement to say about this game.
You don't like buffalo wings?
I love Buffalo wings, but the Arizona Cardinals are the favorite team and season ticket holder of the guy who owns Murphy's Law this bar.
Is that right?
And since he likes the Cardinals and he pays
Loud memo.
the Bills, I got to go with the Cardinals.
Yeah. Nothing like loyalty.
I like the
That's
Bills.
simple.
There's no problem betting the Bills on that game.
I'm betting the Cardinals. I got to go with the Cardinals and the under.
If I was at that game, I'd be cheering every time the Cardinals got a first down.
Yeah.
That would be like a touchdown.
Really? That's how bad they stink up.
Rough that offense.
Well, then they win like several games to start when they open, like
That's-
4 in a
that was-
row or something, or like that.
Yes, miraculously.
Well, it's because they had more points. No, it's really a miracle. They just had more points than the other guys. It works, isn't it? I mean, I know I'm new to this, but I can't.
We're all new to
You know?
this. We need a miracle.
It's all going to correct itself. It's just typical of the NFL where things. There's always going to be some team that's gets a little sunshine on the wrong side. You know?
43.5. There's that tough number again.
I'm under.
Sunshine.
I'm under on it.
Yeah.
Going for
You're
the
under on it.
Under on
That
it.
can't be right.
You know it.
RP?
I like the under as well.
Okay. Let's move on to Mr. Tunnell's favorite game, the Minnesota Vikings, Washington Redskins. It's a pick'em. There's no favorite here, so let's not play favorites. Marty, what do you think? Are you going to take your Redskins at home?
Just so you know, the Redskins are at home. The Redskins are my team for the last 40 years. And this is the only pick 'em this week, so I'm going to pick them. I'm going to pick the Minnesota Vikings. And let me tell you why. Because I've been a Redskins fan for so long. If the Redskins happen to win this game, I'll be extremely, extremely happy. If the Vikings happen to win, I'll be $100 richer. So that's why I'm going with the Vikings.
This is a game I love to watch because I would never thought, this time last year, or at least when they posted the schedule, that this would have been a fun game to watch. But I've always underestimated Percy Harvin. Ever since I came out of school, I just thought, undersized guys at best, he's going to be Reggie Bush, when Reggie Bush was not producing. And that guy's just a machine. He's just unbelievable talent. Every game I watch him, I'm more mesmerized. Again, we love that word. So I'm using this conversation.
Halloween is coming up once again. The Amazing Jonathan presents the Screamline Experiment. Hush, Little Baby, Don't Say a Word. It's now through October 31st at the Las Vegas Club, which is at 18 Fremont Street. Now through October 30th. Some people want to get scared, go to the Screamline Experiment.
That's really impressive.
Vegas Sports Nuts. They're crazy!
So I cannot lose this game. The Redskins win, I'm happy. If the Vikings win, I'm happier because I won money.
Who are you betting on? You're betting on the Vikings?
I'm betting on the Vikings, $100. So I'm betting on the Vikings. So that means if they win, I win $100. If the Redskins win, I'll feel good because they're my team.
Yeah, I'd have to say the Redskins, just as long as RG3 is playing, it's just a different team. It's just so amazing, these rookies. I just wish we could elaborate on the fact of how many young players are at the quarterback position, just tearing it up.
How many are there?
Oh, gosh,
Elaborate.
We got five this year, and then 4 from last season. So we should be at 9. Is what I'm thinking.
And who's the best looking in your opinion?
Not Andrew Luck. See that?
Yeah, what's with that beard, right?
Kyle Orton.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
And Kyle Orton played for the Bears. Of course, he was a bum.
He loves whiskey though. So being that we're at Murphy's Law, I think we should pay a little homage to
Free
that.
whiskey for the next 20 minutes.
Well, since we all, at least Mario and I, we're involved in the alcohol business.
Since
tribute to that.
there's no over and under, we can't take that. So it was a pick 'em. There's no over and under. I wonder why that is.
And they're playing at home in Washington. And then you're still going to go with the Vikings, huh, Mark?
Yeah, but it's really not in Washington. You know, the stadium's not really actually located in Washington. It's the District of Columbia. And again, it's like the Jets don't play in New
I
York.
feel like I'm taking your geography
I got an issue with
class.
that too.
All right, we all have issues. I got my therapist on speed dial. We all have issues.
Does Philadelphia play in like Toledo? No.
Does the Pope go in the woods?
30th city of
I mean, I know you want to bring somebody a little bit more insight on, a lot smarter than I am on here, so I think you got a guy waiting to come on right now, don't you?
Well, no, we want to talk about. Well, we could. Yeah, we could. Well, how much time is left, Tommy?
In this
An
segment?
hour?
No, we got
You're
we got about 10 left on this spot.
Yeah, let's bring Rob in.
Okay, great. Let me give him
Next up.
I appreciate you having me on the show.
Are you done?
Yeah.
That's it? You got your-
Look, I've got to take a break. I've been on for 40 minutes.
You gotta eat
I
cupcakes.
got a 20-minute break. Now I'm gonna have a
Okay, Marty Tuttle.
Marty!
Right behind the Target store on Flamingo and Maryland Parkway. That's cupcake.
Yeah.
In the world.
Out of the bullpen?
Yeah.
Out of the
Bringing in
bullpen.
a pinch hitter.
All right.
Why don't you introduce yourself?
Steven Strasburg,
Yeah.
Washington Nats, Rob Mish.
What happened yesterday?
Horror. Marty was talking about the Redskins playing a football game tomorrow, and I think there's going to be a lot of zombies walking around that stadium. People got to be shell-shocked from what happened last night. Nats were up 6-0, Game 5 to the, my God, who are they playing? St. Louis Cardinals, the dreaded St. Louis Cardinals. And it all dissipated, evaporated. They were up 7-5 in the ninth, the Cards scored 4. It was an absolute stunning shocker way to end.
So did you sleep last night?
You know what?
How will this affect book sales is really what I'd like to know.
Oh,
Oh.
speaking.
Here we go.
Yeah, the last
Rob is
natural.
about to be
Don't hold
somebody
it
that
tight.
somebody that actually can read and write.
If you buy a copy, my dogs, my kids, and my wives will thank you.
Woo!
Yeah. How many dogs do you have?
I don't have any of them. But
Too bad about the dog.
too bad. You know what? It's funny. I felt yesterday like I felt 30 years ago when the Milwaukee Brewers lost to the St. Louis Cardinals in the World Series. I'm from Milwaukee, 1982.
Milwaukee, where you can smell the fresh dairy air.
Absolutely.
It's geography today.
I'm still
I know.
shell-shocked from 30 years ago. The Brewers won the first series game against the Cardinals 10-0 30 years ago. They were up 3-2 in that World Series and lost the last 2 games to the St. Louis Cardinals because Raleigh Fingers was injured, couldn't go. Now here we are 30 years later.
That guy.
Yeah. I saw him in a store the other day.
Just shopping,
And I
or
almost
just
wanted
getting
to,
mustache
we
wax?
were at a liquor store, he was going the other, and I wanted to kick him in the shin for 30 years ago.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
No, it's a good thing that you did.
But it stung me, and I remembered that feeling yesterday when the Nats lost in such an incredible way. I had to watch that game like I watched the Brewers games 30 years ago, with nobody in the house, just by myself. And it was just intense. It's been a fantastic, yes, it's been a fantastic week of sports, I think. I think for drama, it's been one of the best weeks of my life for baseball, if you like baseball. It's been fantastic. Anyway, I was fortunate to write this book about Bryce Harper from the 2010 season. I was with him all of his junior college season 2 years ago, the season that launched him to fame and fortune. And here we are. He's the youngest player ever to hit a home run in a postseason game. And they happened to make a decision to shut down Steven Strasburg. I think it screwed up their whole rotation, their whole pitching, who comes up when, and they're already writing about the jinx of Strasburg affecting that team for decades.
Did you say jinx?
Yes.
Drinks.
Okay, once again. The Amazing Jonathan presents the Screamon Experiment. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. And it's at the Las Vegas Club, 18 Fremont Street. It's a haunted house, folks. Now through October 31st, 7 p.m. nightly. And if you'd like to be scared, go to the
Can't get that high, can't get that.
Okay, I read the paper that changing the name of your book. You're adding a couple of, from The Last Natural, the story about Bryce Harper, to call it The Finale.
The paperback is coming out in spring training, and so what they usually do is they rename the book from its hardback edition to the paperback, and they're renaming it Phenom: The Making of Bryce Harper. Short and sweet. It's going to have a cool picture of him in his Nationals uniform. He's walking he's got his uniform. He's walking to home plate, and he's looking back at the dugout. And before him are just the rows of the stadium, all lights and eyes on him, and he's looking back at you at the dugout. And when my publisher showed me the new cover, I was astounded because it captured what I totally thought that season, 2010, what he was. And I always thought of him as a matador. And that captures his image of him almost going out to the bull ring.
Wait. You thought of this a matador?
Yeah, him against the world. Like him going out in the bull ring.
Against the bull.
Including the bull.
Oh,
against the world.
Just the world.
Yeah, everybody, all eyes on him, and
Is
just
it a recurring dream you've had?
no. You should go to commercial now.
No. I'm just telling you, I've got my
Jonathan, what's the line on the Matador versus the world?
I have no idea.
Matador's minus 2,000.
Thank you.
2,000 on the bull.
That's a bad card.
Rookie of the year. Do you think he's going to get rookie of the year?
Yes.
Yeah. Want to elaborate on that?
No.
Yes. If he does get it, will he accept the award in a Matador's uniform?
I have to call his agent. I gotta work that
He
out.
probably have fun speed now.
No.
No.
No. Let's go to commercial.
Does he? We could start. You want to talk about some football?
Yeah, I got the
What do you
lock of the
do?
year.
Okay, what do you got?
Hammerlock of the year.
What do you got?
I told you last week to put the mortgage on the Indianapolis Colts against the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
Now, if you take that bet and you roll it over on the Houston Texans tomorrow night, you're going to have, at the end of tomorrow night, 4 homes.
Yeah, okay, so. The Packers against the Texans.
Packers
are 5-0 now?
Yes, Packers are a bad team and they're only getting worse. They're getting injuries. Benson's on the sideline. That bad defense is being
It's a terrible
exposed.
bummer, too.
Horrible.
It wasn't bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Was that Winston?
That was Benson.
Oh, we should go to commercial.
No, we got another 4 minutes. 4 minutes. You know, Harbaugh was a bum.
Big ball.
Yeah.
Big ball. He's so tightly wound.
That's a comeback. Miraculous season.
Let's go right now.
Go ahead.
I loved him.
And Green Bay, well, you're from
You
Milwaukee.
know Mike Tom's at.
Yeah, but I'm talking, there's my heart and there's my head. And my head says, let's make money and bet against the Packers. The season is only getting worse. It's spiraling. I think that's a brutal game. Houston's at home.
Did you say spiraling? The Amazing Talent presents the Screamot Experiment, and that's at the Las Vegas Club. Go get scared.
Go get.
Packers and Texans. Packers. So I didn't know you were a cheesehead completely.
I am, but that's with my heart. And so, I mean, when you're talking about your wallet, I think that's just such an easy game. Houston's on such a roll. And I think if you can find, especially a special point spread out there, I don't know who does this, but if you can find something like Houston minus double digits and turn that into a plus bet, I think you're a winner.
Well, there's got to be a teaser thing that's going to give you more than 3.5.
Especially a Sunday night game, sure they'll be that. I would give it because I think they're going to roll with Packers.
47.5 points. What do you think on the over and under? Anything?
Yeah, I would probably take the over, and a lot of that's going to be Houston. I think it'll be 38-14.
Nash, you got something to say over here? Come on over.
Yeah, I got the cards.
Robert Nash in the house.
I got a bunch of these teaser cards.
There's one right in front of the camera over here.
Thanks.
That's great.
No worries.
Great.
Mr. Robert, would you scooch in a
We
little
got
bit?
Robert Nash joining us again.
Yes.
The consummate Bobby D. You got something to say here.
I picked up a couple of teaser cards. I got all the different ones, and I'm going through all these different things, looking at them, trying to figure out who's going to be the winners. But you
Slow
know
it
what?
down a little bit.
Hey, because I talk fast.
Are you talking to me?
A little bit. I am a little bit. Now relax.
You see the cupcakes there? You see blueberries?
I don't see no blueberry muffins, all right? You don't have blueberries in each muffin. Stop breaking my balls. All right, listen,
Are
John.
you talking to me?
Would you relax? Now you insulted me a little bit. I cut it out. What are you looking?
No, I'm not looking at you.
Commercials? Go right there. I had a commercial.
How many minutes, Tom?
You might not come back.
You got a deuce.
Now listen, you know what thing on the Texans? I got one of these teaser cards. It gives the Texans plus 6.5. That's that big teaser. Big teaser card. Definitely going with that. But you know
What hotel is this from? Oh, this is William Hill.
This is a William Hill bowl. Check this out. Fine. All right, what did I pick? Believe it or not, the Colts are going to the Jets, right? All right, they're playing our Jets at home. On this card, I got Jets plus 6.5. You got to take the Jets.
On the teaser.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So you're going to take 6.5 points. But the teaser doesn't pay that much either.
Nah, that's where you gotta bet some money. Don't be a wimp. Put some money on it. Come on. Everybody's worried about now. I'm gonna put $2 on it. Win 1,000. Ain't gonna happen. No. What is this? All right, 17 for 17 is 48-1. All right, put 5 grand
17
on
and 17 is 48 to 1.
17 for 17 is 48 to 1. You
34.
didn't listen too good.
You talking to me?
All right, that's enough. I'm just kidding.
What do you go, Weisenheimer?
Yeah.
All right, Colts and Jets, you like the Colts plus 6.5?
No, I don't like the Colts. I'm taking the Jets plus 6.5.
That's
On
minus.
this teaser. On this
Minus.
teaser, I play the teaser cards. You can never come out. Let me tell you something. I'm going to explain this to everybody, just so you know. Back in the day, I had a few connections. People let me know who's going to do what they could win. That doesn't exist anymore. You know, you gotta
does
this.
too.
It does not. Those guys don't let nothing out anymore. They hold that. No, they hold that in. They don't talk about this to the
Frankie
general
the
public.
Nose, Willie the Broom.
Yeah,
Those
Frankie
guys?
the Nose got whacked with the broom. Let me tell you, you have no idea. They are not giving this stuff out. There's only a select few for people trying to make a couple of bucks. They don't give the general public any information. I can let them know, but it's not my business right now.
We're gonna take a break. We're gonna take a break on that. We'll come back with Bobby D. With Rob. Vegas Sports Nuts from Murphy's Law. Jonathan Scott, we're back at Murphy's Law with Vegas Sports Nuts. Flamingo, just east of Maryland Parkway, brought to you by Cadillac of Las Vegas on West Sahara. Bobby D, you've got something to say about Broncos and Chargers.
Yeah, well, this Monday night game, everybody hates waiting until Monday night. They want the action now. They don't want to wait. They want to see Sundays done at the end of like 8:30. They go home and they got money in their pocket.
Do you make
However,
gravy on Sunday?
I always make gravy on Sunday. It's the best macaronis too. You know that. We talked about this.
Oofa!
What the?
How you doing?
What time is dinner?
5:30. Just in time for the game.
Right, Packers, Texans.
Absolutely. And now, I don't know if you watch
Leave the gun, take the cannoli.
That right.
Yeah.
Give me some other movie quotes I've never heard before. This guy.
Packers, Texans. You're good.
You're very good.
You're good, you.
I don't know. You have a gift, my friend.
Yeah, Texans, Packers. They have a gift.
Texans and the Packers. All right, we were already on this with this guy from the Washington people, whatever. All right, now listen.
Rob, defend yourself.
You got no chance.
My name's Rob.
Yeah, relax. No, actually,
If they're Alcoholics Anonymous, why do they give their names?
Hey, get away.
Are you talking to me? Bobby.
Are you stealing my lines?
Yeah. Have a
Rob, I'm going with you on the over on that game. That's all I got to say.
47 and a half, you think they're going to go over?
Absolutely. I think they're probably going to go like 42 to 27. I think it's going to be big. Too big. Absolutely. I'm going big. Going big. Very big. If I'm wrong, well, come back and talk to me about it. I'll whack you with it.
Broncos Chargers, Monday night.
All right. Now, come on. Chargers at home. They're on a good roll. Broncos are getting beat up right now. Manny gets hit one more time, that guy's going down, man. He's done. So we might as well just tell him to kiss the season goodbye if anything happens to him. That's how I feel about it personally. And I know somebody who knows somebody who said something about something going on with that game. So, yeah, the other guy. Don't worry, it's that one thing. It's that thing.
That thing.
No, it's the other thing. But it's the thing we're talking about right now.
Right.
So I'm taking the Chargers minus 1.5. Give the Broncos 7.5, not 6.5. Give 7.5.
49 points, over and under. You're going to do 49 points?
I don't know if it's going to get Chargers. I think they're going to explode. They may explode, but I don't know. That's a little
with a symmetry. They're going to explode with a symmetry.
Hey, you have opinions. Throw something.
What are the odds
He's a writer. He can't talk.
on Manning leaving that game via ambulance?
Uh-oh.
I don't think it's going to be via ambulance, but I think he might be sitting down probably in like quarter 3.
I think we're an insurance sponsor here.
No, I like Manny. A lot of respect. He had his time. His little brother's even doing better. However, not to change the subject, Dan, being the Niners, let's go back to the Chargers. Quarter 3, Manny might be taking a break.
Do you want to bet on when he's going down?
Do they have that in the book?
Well,
I didn't think it happened.
this William Hill company from the UK.
Yeah, it should have been Henry Hill.
Henry Hill.
The
He's
snitch.
dead.
Yeah,
God,
and why do you think? The little
Uh-oh.
snitch son of a... That's
It's a rat.
it is.
The red comics, the red cartoons.
Yeah.
That's a whole other show.
Yeah, we're talking
That's
about
the-
football. Leave the rats alone.
What other games do you want to talk about? We're almost out of time.
I got the Giants-Niners thing. Now,
The thing.
we got the conference championship from last year. They're doing it again here, right? Okay. The Giants. The only reason they beat the Niners last year in that game was because Crabtree was out. And Crabtree been in the game. This Mamaluku drops the ball, kicks it off his foot. They lose it. People just the Niners were going to the Super Bowl last
Giants
year.
rule.
Yeah, you're gonna be small. You ain't gonna be no Giants. Shut up.
You shut up.
The Niners would go into the Super Bowl if Crabtree was in the game. Everybody knows it. It was a given. And the way that the Patriots played in that game last year in the Super Bowl, Niners would have beat them by like 30. I'm just saying.
Oh!
So you can take the Giants to the points. Niners are at home. They're hot. They got the backup. Who's this backup quarterback for the Niners? What's his name?
Kaepernick.
Yeah, Kaepernick. Forget about it. This guy's solid.
Humperdinck?
Solid. He's the
Humperdinck.
backup that's going to send them all the way through.
What's your favorite good-looking quarterback? What do you think is the best-looking quarterback?
It's got to be Bobby D.
Tony Romo?
Aaron Rodgers. You got to do the same.
We're out of time. That's it. Thanks for listening to Vegas Sports. Thank our guest, Bobby T.
Thanks, guys.
RP, Ron Fitzgerald. Next week, Mario Longobardi will be back wherever he is. We wish you well. Tommy D. And WEMA, Women in Sports. Women in Sports. Women in Music. Electric Las Vegas and West Sahara.
Yeah.
The Breast Football place to watch.
The breast?
Oh,
What?
did I say that again?
Yes, you did.
Football Central.
That's
why
Women in
it's free.
Sports.
Best game in town. Next Saturday, check out the Danny Gans Memorial Championship Run for Life Benefit for Nevada Childhood Cancer, hosted by Donnie Osmond. It's Saturday, October 20th. It's a 5K, 8 a.m., 1 mile run for fun at 7:30, and that's at Green Valley Parkway, off 215 and Paseo Drive, in the Big Henderson Pavilion. We want to thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Jonathan Scott. We'll catch you next time on Vegas Sports.